are a C student, but you are here illegally, you should be deported. But if you're a C plus or a B student and you're here illegally, you should not. Of course not.
The Gomez brothers' case is in the spotlight, but it's far from unique. The Urban Institute estimates there are 65,000 undocumented students in the U.S. who've graduated high school and have been here at least 5 years. If they're caught, they may be taken to a federal detention center like this one outside Miami and held for deportation proceedings. Congress is considering a so-called DREAM Act to allow students who are here illegally to apply for permanent U.S. residency if they get a college degree and demonstrate, quote, good moral character. So far, the bill's been buried in failed attempts at immigration reform. Juan Gomez, though, is not giving up.
If you just blindly look at it as a law and people breaking the law and never question the laws, then this country wouldn't be what it is now. We would still have women who can't vote. We would still have segregation.
But for Juan and his brother Alex, time is running out. Their 45-day extension will be nearly over by the time Congress returns next week from summer recess. Susan Candiotti, CNN, Miami.
Throws the football pretty well anyway. Very few people have wrapped themselves around the immigration question quite like our next guest. Republican presidential candidate Tom Tancredo is good enough to join us from the great state of Colorado. Thank you, Congressman, for being with us. Sure. Producer says we got about 3 minutes. Maybe we'll cheat, make him mad, and go a couple over.
Okay.
My producer says my producer says you want these guys out. True?
Yeah. Well, it's not just these guys. I mean, I certainly have nothing against them. I'm just saying that the law is the law, and you cannot possibly, the minute you start making exceptions here, no matter what the circumstances are, and I understand, you know, they are, the only thing I disagree with in your opening was you said they're model citizens. They're not citizens, you know, they're not. And so,
well, let's just say for the sake of argument, they've been acting like model citizens, which ain't bad.
Fine kids,
right.
Fine kids.
Right.
And however, here's the problem. How in the world do you tell everybody else who's waiting to come into this country the right way, or all the ones that have done it the right way, that it really doesn't matter?
That's the problem.
If you come in,
that's the problem with
yes, you're exactly right.
That's
it is the problem
with the system, Congressman.
Now, if we only have 3 minutes, we better not spend it yelling at each other.
I'm not. I love you like a brother.
Good,
but it just seems to me, and it's so irritating, that we don't have any kind of law or system that screens the good guys from the bad guys. So we're just saying everybody's out there in the same boat. Is that right?
We cannot. There is no sieve. There is no sieve that we can put on the border
but
and
shouldn't
say,
there be?
You know, no, there is impossible. We have no way of judging something like that. Here's the way we've got of judging it. It is this. Here's the law. Here's the process. Here's the door that you can come into this country. Over 1 million people a year. We take more immigrants into this country than any other country in the world. We take more people on visas than any other country in the world.
But if
there is a way to come the right way, and you cannot ignore it. The minute you do, then just throw the whole thing out and say, hey, it doesn't matter.
But there is really no right way. The system, the way it works now, and you know this, works on a wink and a nod. In other words, we need some people to come in, so we'll kind of look the other way. Go ahead. Oh, and if we notice you're there, you shouldn't be here, you're illegal. What is that?
I will not, I certainly won't argue with you that the federal government especially has not done their job. I have been as critical as I possibly can be about that very fact, and that it is, in a way, the federal government is culpable. When it does not enforce the law against especially employers, who are the magnets generally that are now, not in this case, these people came here on a visa and overstayed, but for the people who are coming across the border illegally, it's mostly to get a job. And when we don't enforce the law against employers, then you can understand why there's more and more people, there are more and more people doing it. So our option is really this. You either enforce the law or you repeal the law. You do not continue to ignore the law. That's the worst possible way to deal with it.
And we both agree on that, and so do a lot of other people. So why then can't the problem be solved? Congressman Tom Tancredo, will you come back?
You bet, you bet. It's been great.
It's been great having you here. We appreciate it, sir. Larry King Live.